we should be good to go. And then let me just turn the microphone on.
You already have it on?
Yes, let me mute it. We do have 3 people with us already, and then just when we start.
It's unmuted already.
Yes.
Any person wishing to address the Board of Trustees regarding a matter that is not on the agenda must complete a request to address the trustees form and submit it to the recorder before the meeting is called to order. Request to address the board, written or verbal, will not be granted after the meeting has begun.
Cualquier persona que quiera dirigirse a la mesa directiva referente a un asunto el cual no está en la agenda tiene que llenar.
Elizabeth Mati Santana Garibaldi, Board President.
Present.
Ernesto Larray, Board Clerk.
Here.
Jesse Aton, Board Member. Elvie Velasquez, Board Member.
Here.
Lopez, Board Member.
Here.
Miguel Guerrero, Superintendent, here. Fred Molina, Director 2 of Administrative Services.
Here.
Tina Costa Diaz, Director 2 of Instructional Services.
Here.
Tonya Aguilera, Administrative Secretary, Recorder.
Present.
Jessica Rodriguez, District Communication, Translator, Interpreter, Clerk.
Here.
Moving on to 2.0, adoption of the agenda. 2.1, adopt agenda.
Administration recommends that we adopt the agenda with the modification of 7.1. The classified employee of the year, Francis Carvalho, is unable to attend the meeting, but we can reschedule for her to be present on the January meeting. So there was a child there.
Board members, any other comments, questions, or concerns?
No question,
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
As presented, or with the removing of 7.1? Okay. So I have a motion by member Garay to adopt the agenda as presented and with the recommendation of administration to remove 7.1. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by member Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to 3.0 closed session. We will be moving into the closed session room at 5:03 p.m. 6:30. Internet's super slow.
Where you go?
Back into open session at 6:30 PM. And 6:30. Any person wishing to address the Board of Trustees regarding a matter that is not on the agenda must complete a request to address the trustees form and submit it to the recorder before the Pledge of Allegiance. Requests to address the board, written or verbal, will not be granted after the Pledge of Allegiance has begun.
Cualquier persona que quiera dirigirse a la mesa directiva referente a un asunto el cual no está en la agenda, tiene que llenar la forma petición de dirigirse a la mesa directiva y someterla al secretario antes del saludo a la lealtad. Peticiones de dirigirse a la mesa directiva escritas orales no serán permitidas después de que la promesa de la lealtad ha comenzado.
Moving on to 4.1, open session. 4.1, report out of closed session required. There's nothing to report. 5.0, Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Garaya, please lead us in the pledge.
Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Moving on to 6.0, public comment. Administration.
We do have one public comment. And so this is from Rebecca Castro with Kern County Educators for Ethnic Studies. Good evening, Lamont Elementary School District Board members. Thank you for being here today. I write this comment to urge you to adopt a resolution for the implementation of Ethnic Studies district-wide. Ethnic Studies will give students the opportunity to analyze concepts that address historical and contemporary issues of racially marginalized people. In addition, students will learn and understand the importance of race, culture, and community. Ethnic Studies can also be a support for SEL instruction in a positive classroom climate. Students who participate in ethnic study courses strengthen their critical thinking abilities, which helps them communicate their ideas effectively and feel empowered to make social change in their communities. As some of you may already know, ethnic studies have been approved as graduation requirements in all California state universities. California is also working on the high school requirement and has an ethnic studies model curriculum written. Additionally, there are several local educators who are ready and willing to teach LESC students from an ethnic studies perspective. Therefore, I urge you board members to adopt a resolution for the implementation of ethnic studies district-wide so that we can develop students with healthy identities and skills that promote an equitable society for all. Thank you, Rebecca Castro, Kern County Educators for Ethnic Studies.
Thank you. Moving on to 7.0, presentations, performances, and introductions. 7.1 has been removed from the agenda. 7.2, migrant education program student presentations.
Hi, board member. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. I got my glasses, but no problem. So before I begin our presentation, I would like to thank the board for allowing our invitation to Ana Medina and to her family who's here with us. It's Magdalena Hernandez, Ana Medina's father, which is Jose Castro Medina. And then it's Andrea, and this is Maggie, no, Andrea. Adrian. Adrian. I got it. We have a commemorative bench and a plaque in the garden, which she so much deserves, and I hope you guys go and see it later. As we've been preparing for this event, many have expressed kind words for Ana Medina. She is still fresh in their hearts because she cared genuinely for so many students, parents, and teachers. She took the time to help families who were new to our community and were struggling by making sure they had what they needed. With her caring attitude and love, she served the migrant students of Lamont and our whole district. I will quote someone among us who said, she was one of the greatest migrant education coordinators. Because she loved flowers, we honor her with a garden dedication and a virtual presentation by students. I want to thank all the Migrant Education Saturday School teachers and extended day teachers for their dedication and extra time with our students. The presentation is beautifully compiled by Gary and Denise Castro. Mrs. Gonzalez Music Incentive Class will present Going Down to Mexico, the Monarch Butterfly Song, and the Elmo Butterfly Song. Mrs. Perez's Incentive Class will virtually present La Last Song. Mr. Raul Lopez Perez will virtually present a computer science arcade project with butterflies and flowers. And Mrs. Rubalcaba's class created beautiful art for the presentation. And this wasn't easy for the teachers to do it virtually, but they did it, and I'm amazed by it. So, Antonio, will you start the presentation? Okay. This is okay. I have to get close. And so the audience is at
Hello. Some of you may know me and some of you may not. I'm Mrs. Gonzalez. I'm a fifth grade gate teacher at Alicante, and I recently started teaching migrant this school year. I have had the opportunity to work with amazing migrant students. I have also had the opportunity to teach the migrant students about music and about the monarch butterfly. Today we will be dedicating a garden to Ms. Anna Medina, who was the migrant director at the Lamont Elementary School District. I never got a chance to know her, but I've heard amazing things about her. I'd like to welcome all family, friends, and community of the Lamont Elementary School District. I would like to give a special thanks to Dr. Bernal for helping me record my students, and for Mr. Castro for providing the accompaniment for my students. Please give a big welcome to the Migrant Choir. Thank you and enjoy the performance.
This project, students are able to set up the background, they can see on start, this and this is gonna happen, so it's kind of like taking a list and how to do things by setting directions in the proper order. And they have, the ability to draw and decorate their own characters here, so I think this is pretty fun for those students that really like doing drawings. And we also have, for example, right here, position X, position Y, teaching students about the y-axis, which is vertical, and the x-axis, which is horizontal. And this even has the ability to be turned into JavaScript. So once they get used to working with blocks, I plan on hopefully transitioning them to JavaScript, which would require them to type things like this. It's probably more towards the next half of the school year, towards the end. So we can get more practice with working with the blocks. So one time, press play, and it's showing your entire sentence on your microbit exactly as you coded it. Good job, Jose. We're able to see it right here. It's showing your sentence, it's scrolling it by, so it's showing your sentence 1 to 2 letters at a time. No worry, right here, it shows the squares in the shape of the letters, so that's your sentence. then let's see, I believe Brandon was done. Brandon, can you share your screen next? And show us your sentence? Awesome.
I like a green butterfly.
Awesome. Can you read me your sentence out loud one more time, please?
I like an egg.
Awesome, Fernando. Good job. All right. Can you go ahead and share your sentence with me?
The butterflies have different colors.
Awesome. And you were able to get your micro:bit to show everything on there. Good job.
For this art project, I chose to teach the students optical art. Have you seen an optical illusion before? Optical art works in a similar way. Artists use shapes, patterns, and colors in clever ways to create movement. I chose the starburst art because it's symbolic of love, compassion, and understanding. The students also learn how to draw a butterfly. I hope you enjoy the students' beautiful art as much as I did. My teacher, you were always there for me right from the start. You are a special teacher who taught me with your heart. In memory of Ana Medina, Migrant Education Coordinator, like flowers in a garden bloomed a wonderful individual as caring and as dedicated to the Lamont parents, teachers, and students as one could ever find. Echoes of her tireless efforts will always harvest a smile, while her zest for migrant education grows in our hearts for all of time. En memoria de Ana Medina, coordinadora de educación migrante, como flores en un jardín, floreció un individuo maravilloso, tan cariñosa y tan dedicada a los padres, estudiantes y profesores de la mar. Los ecos de sus incansables esfuerzos siempre cosecharán una sonrisa mientras su entusiasmo por la educación migrante crece en nuestros corazones. Special thanks to Denise and Gary Castro for recording our instrumental tracks and compiling all of our media into this beautiful presentation. Thank you. We do have refreshments outside, so you can visit the garden and the commemorative bench. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Gracias. Moving on to 8.0 consent items. Administration,
Administration recommends that we adopt the consent item agenda, that we approve the consent item agenda.
8.1 is approve the minutes for the regular board meeting on October 27, 2020. 8.2, approve warrant registered 1920-05. 8.3, approve end of month payroll report for October 2020 and mid-B payroll report for November 2020. 8.4 is approve KCSLS agreement number 21-0450, virtual keep. 8.5 is approve library books for discard. 8.6 is designate PINCO representatives, and 8.7 is approve the inter-district transfers. I have a question on 8.6. It states on there that the representatives are going to be attending a PINCO general membership and executive committee, and it makes it seem as there's gonna be mileage and everything because of COVID. Are they still gonna be attending that, or is that gonna be a virtual thing? Or do we not know yet?
I'm not sure, but most everything that they've attended has been virtual. There hasn't been any in-town meetings with any of her past meetings. So I'm assuming, but I don't know for sure.
Can we make sure that it's not something that they attend physically? If it's okay with the rest of the board? That it's a virtual attendance but not a physical? I don't know what the rest of the board feels about that.
Is it required for them to attend it? Is it clear?
It's part of the co-op. So they do have to attend meetings, but we're a little unclear as far as if it's virtual or not at this point. I believe everything's virtual.
It's just that when we're approving, it says that there's mileage and meal, so I'm assuming it's.
Yeah, they have a person. Assuming they just enforce.
Correct. So I think that we as a board can designate that and they not go to, because we had already said that we're not sending people to conferences. So I just want to make sure that that's still something that we keep.
No trouble.
Is it?
Okay, no trouble.
Board members, any other comments, questions, or concerns for the consent items, 8.1 to 8.7?
No question, Madam Clerk.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the consent items on number 8.
I have a motion by member Velasquez to approve consent items
Make sure that on number 6 that there is no trouble.
and to make sure that on number 6, which is the designated PICO representatives, that there's no travel. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by member Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to 9.0 Personnel Administration. 9.1 Classified personnel, approved job descriptions, employment resignation, retirement, leave of absence, change of status, placement, redesignation, salary, and termination. Administration?
Administration recommends that we approve the employment of Jaime Moreno, the resignation of Melanie Reese, Ivan Bruno, Antonio Isidro, change of status Liliana Moreno, and deny the leave of absence for Delilah Jimenez.
Board members, do I have any comments, questions, or concerns?
No question, Madam Clerk.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, Madam President, to approve 9.1,
All of it,
all of it,
including,
the way Dr. Guerrero read. Approve, approve employment, approve resignation, and
change of status.
not, the change of status, and not approve the leave of absence, right?
So I have a motion by member Velasquez to approve 9.1 as the district administration recommended, which is accepting the employment, resignation, leave, change of status, and denying the leave of absence. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
I have a second by member Garay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to 10.0 General Administration. 10.1 rename the Ana Medina Commemorative Garden.
While we wait, can you repeat who motioned and who seconded?
Good evening again. Good evening, tired of seeing me.
The motion was made by Ms. Velasquez and the second was made by Mr. Garay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, so, we're gonna propose a change to the name, instead of el, Ana Medina El Jardín de las Maravillas, just because they told us there was a grammatical error between, there's no apostrophe S between the English and the Spanish. So we're proposing Ana Medina y su Jardín de las Maravillas. And the other one was El Jardín de las Maravillas de Ana Medina. But it seems like the family, the SSA, all like that her name is at the beginning to remember her, and then the rest comes after. So it's Ana Medina y su Jardín de las Maravillas. El Jardín de las Maravillas de Ana Medina.
Board members, do we have any comments, questions, or concerns?
So it's just like in Spanish instead of English.
Yeah, so we have Ana Medina at the beginning.
You guys said.
Yeah.
Y su jardín.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, with
So Ana Medina y su Jardín de las Maravillas.
Yes.
So do I have a motion? I have a motion by member Garay to accept the name change to Ana Medina y su Jardín de las Maravillas, correct?
yes.
Do I have a second?
So I'll second it.
I have a second by member Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Remember there's refreshments outside.
Thank you. 11.0 Business Administration. 11.1 Approval of the professional service contract with 3K Building Services, Inc. to provide inspector of record services for the Alicante Avenue Elementary School kindergarten construction project.
Administration recommends that we approve the action as stated.
Board members, do we have any comments, questions, or concerns?
I have a question of, the letter proposal for project inspection services. It says Alicante Elementary School District for Palmdale, California. I don't know. The letter?
Yeah. they
Which
probably-
attachment?
Yeah, that's-
Is it the first or the second?
They made a mistake or it just?
Yeah, it's a mistake for sure. Yeah, might be another project they were working on. Because it's same thing over and over again. I think
Maybe
it's-
just correct it or you correct it. See?
Where is that at?
Right there. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But this is their address.
Alicante Elementary School.
Oh, okay. So it has our school, so it has the school and named it the district, and then they have
That's what it
address
said.
of Palm jail.
We can take action, but they can.
Good catch. In this one, yeah, it's the address it should have, Lamont Elementary School.
So this is just a proposal, the contract itself is the other. The 19th paper.
Dr. Guerrero, my question on this one in regards to that as well is that same letter, it says that it's 102,000, but there might be an increase depending on inspections or, so is this a minimum that they're charging?
Yes, because every project that GSA needs to have an inspector of record. And sometimes additional inspections need to be performed depending on if there's any delays. If we keep to the targeted date, then we should be within budget, but sometimes, as we know, public works sometimes gets drawn out a little bit, and so I think they just want to be cautionary of that.
Okay. So going back to Mr. Garay's question, do we approve it with changes or do we approve,
I would say approve it with changes.
Approve it with
Yeah, we're good at
changes?
it, yeah.
so your motion would be to approve with changes?
Change it, but-
To the attachment name and the name of the attachment, you can consider that. So board members, do we have any more comments, questions, or concerns for this? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 11.1. Read the changes from there.
I have a motion by member Garay to accept 11.1, to approve 11.1 with the changes made to attachment 2020 LESD Alicante ES modular proposal, which has the wrong school district and address for us. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by member Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Moving on to 11.2, approval of professional services contract with NV5 to provide special inspections and material testing services for the Alicante Avenue Elementary School Kindergarten Construction Project.
Administration recommends that we approve as stated. The agenda.
Board members, do we have any comments, questions, or concerns? This is a one-time fee, correct?
I believe so.
Any other questions?
No question.
Do I have a motion?
I'll motion to approve 11.2.
I have a motion by member Lopez to approve 11.2. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
I have a second by member Garay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Moving on to 11.3. Approve raising the classified sub pay rate. Administration?
We recommend to raise the classified sub-pay rate from 13 to 14 effective January 1st, 2020, and from 14 to 15 effective January 1st, 2022. This would be in line with the current law stating of the minimum wage.
Board members, do we have any comments, questions, or concerns? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve item 11.3.
I have a motion by member Garay to approve 11.3. Do I have a second?
I will go ahead and second, 11.3.
I have a second by member Velasquez to approve 11.3. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to 12.0, items removed from consent calendar. There are none. Moving on to 13.0, policy review and development. 13.1, approve the first reading and adopt the board policies, administrative regulations, exhibits, and board bylaws presented.
These are routine board policies that we have to do. And the reason we're doing this, one of them is for the masks, making it a board policy that we wear masks. However, in that policy, there's a waiver for those individuals that might have some type of medical condition that does not allow them to, and also breaks it down by age group of who needs to have a mask. From third grade up, we're mandatorying it. Third grade down, there's possible that they can use shields and or other methods of face covering.
Did I read it correctly that they have restrictions and they wear this shield? They can wear something underneath the shield to kind of keep their underneath. I think I read that.
Most of our shields end up right around a little bit past the head. And
It says, such as a face shield with a drape on the bottom edge.
yeah, we don't have that.
And then I also read in there that we have to have brand new paper bags with the student's name on it when they take it off, like to eat and stuff.
What we're doing instead is having a shield for the kindergartners, like their own little cubby hole. So that'll be their space.
Oh, okay, so they're not gonna be wearing the,
And then we'll also bring like a little plastic box for them to put their stuff in as well, so we can isolate their stuff from the other kids.
now my question is, if this is stating that we're giving them that, so if this is written by the California Department of Health, Public Health, correct?
That one we got from Label. I'm not sure where.
That one was created by Legal, actually. at the request of the superintendents, that we wanted something on record to make sure that there was a policy directing staff to wear masks and the proper procedures for any type of appeal you might have and or special consideration.
Now, my question to you is that because we're accepting this in writing, shouldn't it say exactly how our procedures are going to be? Because this can be misconstrued. Because it says we're gonna do this, but we have an alternative method for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we can bring it back.
We need to do it.
Yeah.
This needs to be approved before, right?
Yes.
That's what I don't know because
Yeah.
we understand we need to take action, correct? But what would be the appropriate, because I don't want us to get into any situation because it says one thing here and then we're doing something else.
Just that we approve the board policies with the changes of aligning to the proper procedures.
Okay. Everyone understood that? Everyone's okay with that? Okay. So, board members, do we have any other comments, questions, or concerns with this?
Like on the shields, do we already have the shields?
Oh, we have plenty of supplies.
Are those the ones with the glasses?
No, they're just the face shield. Well, yeah, no, they're,
Oh, it's a band.
Particularly for those students that already wear glasses, younger glasses. And so,
Because it seemed like it was easier, the ones with the glasses, compared to the ones with the band.
so those came out a little bit later and they're also a lot more expensive.
Oh, okay.
we also have some cutesy ones. They have like little butterflies and stuff for the kindergartners.
No, yeah.
Mr. Molina fights over them, but that's a different story.
They're that cute.
So, do I have a motion?
I go ahead and make a motion, that's 13.1. Approve.
To approve?
Yes. Madam President?
So I have a motion by member Velasquez to approve 13.1. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by member Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. Moving on to 14.0. Reports and communications, 14.1, board member reports. Mr. Lopez,
I have nothing to report this time, Madam President.
Mr. Garay,
Nothing to report.
Ms. Velasquez,
Nothing to report, Madam President.
nothing to report other than once again, thank you everyone. Appreciate all your hard work. Moving on to 14.2, superintendent report.
We've been in the process of preparing to reopen, and so under the direction of Mr. Duran, who has some skill sets in developing or filming a video, we put a video together with all the different procedures that are going to be in play when the kids come back, and so we wanted to show you. It's both we did one in English and we did one in Spanish. We're going to push this out tomorrow to the parents, so we just wanted to kind of preview it, have you guys preview it.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of the Lamont Elementary School Board of Trustees and all staff, we want to welcome you back to school. As we return back to school, we have the following safety guidelines that have been in place for everyone's safety. These guidelines include proper use of masks, hand washing, hand sanitizing, social distancing, and temperature checks. This video will explain each one of these safety guidelines so you know what to do when you return. We are all anxious to see you back in class. Thank you for your support.
The Lamont Elementary School District is requiring all students to wear a mask when we return to school. Pre-K through second grade will also receive a face shield. Teachers will help them with their mask or their shield. The Lamont Elementary School District will be giving all students 2 school masks when we return to school.
Before entering your classroom, you are going to wait patiently outside that classroom door, standing on your marker, keeping 6 feet distance from your classmates. A staff member will take your temperature and will use the provided hand sanitizer. Be sure to rub that hand sanitizer on your hands and on your fingertips until it is completely dry. You will use that hand sanitizer throughout the day, anytime you enter or exit your classroom. Social distancing is a public safety measure that we will enforce at all of our schools. This means that students and adults will maintain a 6 feet distance whenever practicable in the classrooms and outside. We have placed safety markers for the students to remind them when they come back on campus. You will also notice in the classrooms that we have rearranged the furniture to increase the space between students. Another safety measure that we will enforce is the proper techniques for hand washing and using hand sanitizer. Students will have time to wash their hands every day and sanitize them whenever they enter or exit a classroom. Sanitizers will be available throughout the school. Parents will be dropping off their students at designated areas at schools, like the sidewalk or curb area, by each grade level designated entry gate. Be sure to check with your teacher to know what gate to enter and exit the school. Parents, please do not park or linger in the drop-off area, as we want to get students on campus as efficiently as possible. Make sure your vehicle is stopped completely and in park, exit your vehicle and walk directly to your gate. Be sure to stay 6 feet from others on your way. Once you get to your gate, a staff member will direct your students to the class staging area. In an effort to avoid crowds, we kindly ask you to leave once your student enters the school ground.
If you're on the bus, make sure you follow social distancing guidelines at the bus stop. An adult will exit the bus upon arriving, check your temperature, and give you hand sanitizer before entering the bus. If your temperature is 100.4 Fahrenheit or higher, an adult will be dispatched to your location and bring you to school. You will then be placed in a screening room. Upon entering the bus, we will load from the back of the bus to the front in a pre-designated seat marked with a poster. The windows will open if weather permits. Once you arrive at school, you will exit the bus. Your temperature will be checked again and directed to the staging area. The school bus will be disinfected between runs and sanitized daily.
At the end of the school day, students will be walked to the staging areas to exit campus. As parents arrive, students will be released to walk to the parent or family vehicle. Again, please do not park or linger in the pickup lines, as we want to keep moving. And if you're walking, please observe social distancing.
All classrooms are disinfected after each attendance session. The custodians will use Genion technology to sanitize the classrooms. This will provide our students with an additional layer of protection for student desks, chairs, teacher workstations, tables, sinks, countertops, light switches, and door handles. Each teacher will have disinfectant cloth to use on high-touch surfaces throughout the day.
We're so excited to have you back at school. We hope this video helps you feel more comfortable and you know exactly what to do. Looking forward to seeing all of you back at school.
It turned out all right.
It did.
Even with the.
Great.
And we got a Spanish version?
Yeah, there's a Spanish version to it with the same content and everything. So we're looking forward to rolling that out to the parents and having them view it and kind of prep them for what to anticipate when they come back on campus and so forth. So also, as per your request, I think that's my time sheet for up until, I think, October.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And that concludes the report.
Thank you. Moving on to 14.3, Director 2 Instructional Services.
nothing to report.
Thank you. 14.4, Director to Administrative Services.
Nothing to report at this time.
15.0, Correspondence. 15.1, School Site Board Updates.
They're in your packet. Presented in your packet.
There's some missing. Is there a reason why they're missing?
From a school site?
There's 2 school sites missing. And Myrtle.
That's a great question. I don't know. I have to get a hold of Gamma because they did turn one in. And I did upload one, but I'm thinking it's the same issue we had with the other slides.
We're gonna need you to be checking that more constantly. I mean, I don't know how they're dropping off. Same thing with the department board updates in a bit. Same thing happened. So if you can please get those to us so that we.
I'll email those to you guys.
Thank you, appreciate it. Board members, any comments, questions, or concerns on 15.1? Moving on to, actually in 15.1. Did all the parents participate for the questionnaire that the principals of the school sites that are there, which are Alicante and Lamont, participate in the questionnaire for the students that want to come back?
Yes, that is my understanding, that they were all reached out via telephone, and that it was pretty much because we needed to know, because it has an impact on transportation, it has an impact on staffing, it has an impact on the cohort, so we needed to know by each parent what their intentions were, if they were going to stay distance learning and or do in-person instruction, then we needed to balance those cohorts. So yes, every parent was contacted, and if they haven't, they're in the process of doing so because we need to nail it down.
Thank you. Moving on to 15.2, department board updates. Once again, there's only 2 reports there. And if you have more, you can please send those to us.
Those reports are the only 2 that got turned in.
Those are the only ones that get, so we don't have MOT, we don't have tech. Okay. Dr. Guerrero, you could please ask them to turn the memo on a timely manner for the next board meeting. I appreciate it. Thank you. Board members, any other comments, questions, or concerns?
No questions.
Moving on to 16.0, closed session. We will be taking a 5-minute recess and going into closed session once again at 7:26.